Hi, this is Pastor Bob, and welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. I get a lot of questions about tithing. How much should you be giving? Some people say, well, is tithing Old Testament or is it New Testament? Should we be giving 10% or more? Or do we really need to give anything at all? It's a great question. And I don't really have all the answers to it, but I have some principles to it. And let me give you the principles and then you make your choice. You know, I see that the tithing is something that's important in the Old Testament, and there's a lot of reasons that it's important that I won't go into because I don't have time. But uh, the Bible talks about the office in the order of Melchizedek in the New Testament, and many people believe that Melchizedek was Jesus Christ, and Melchizedek's office in the Old Testament basically was collecting tithes. So in in a very specific way, it probably is New Testament, but it's different. You see, if Jesus collects them, if Melchizedek is Jesus, and if that principle is still there, which I believe it is, then tithing really isn't 10%. It really has to do with your heart. You know, the precedence in the Bible, again, is because of Christ's death on the cross, God gives us the capacity to love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Love, 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 as we've said many times before. And when you begin to do that, amazing things begin to happen. But one of the things that happens is you begin to give. You begin to give because you have compassion, and your finances become a way to bless other people. And so I think that's important, folks, is that we don't get legalistic about tithing, that we really take it from here to here. Wait a minute, here. Forgot what side my heart was on. That we begin that process of just doing it because we're supposed to and doing it because we have compassion to. And that's really what Christ asked us to do. When he asked us to get involved, he asked us to get involved because we love, because we, excuse me, because we love unconditionally, and because it's the right thing to do. And so when Christ's compassion captures your heart, you will give, just the way it works. You'll give because that's part of who we become in Jesus Christ. And then you'll see those people that are naked and you clothe them, hungry and you feed them, thirsty and you give them something to drink, etc., like Christ told us to do. And why do we respond? Because we have compassion for those people and for their situation. But for all of those things. Now, then the other question is, well, do I need to tithe to my church? And I'm going to get in trouble for this one, I'm sure. But my answer is no. Not unless God has put that on your heart as well. And very honestly, folks, the way that some churches as institutions are being run, I think that it's not a real good place for your money, honestly. You know, I think when a church looks at tithing without walls, that we look at the outreach with tithing, I think that's the important thing. And I challenge pastors and churches all the time that if you're not able to give away 50% of the tithes that come into the church, then you're doing it wrong. Some people say that's pretty steep. We can only give 5 or 10%. 5 and 10% of outreach. Then you're doing something wrong. You know, I think 50 is minimum. I think it's minimum. We should be giving more than that. And if a church has the kind of expenses that are more than 50%, then you ought to really cut down. You don't really need it. You're not really involved as you should be. Folks, we really need to get out there. We really need to have compassion outside the four walls, not just with our talk, but with our walk and with our finances. Okay, there I said it. Just leave your messages right here. God bless you. Have a great day.